Yeah, I know, it's a provocative title, but I have a reason for it, I promise. Obviously, I have no idea how much you read, and still I want to say maybe you read too much. And that's just because of the time that we live in. We have information everywhere around us at all times. Some information we want to get, a lot of information we don't really care about, but we're here anyway, being bombarded with information at all times. And of course, we can try to tune out as much as possible, but still, we're going to react to a lot of it. So let's take me, for example. I like to read nonfiction. So whenever I'm interested in a certain topic, I will pick up a book, read about it, then I'm still interested in it, pick up the next book, read about it, next book, and, kind of evolve from one idea to the next. Sometimes the author will mention something very interesting in the book about what somebody else had to say about a certain thing. And then I switch to that author, and then from there, it just keeps on. I keep hopping and hopping. And when I say I pick up one book and then the next book, it usually means that I go for the ebook version, which is there instantly. I don't even have to wait for shipping. I don't have to go to the store to get it. And I know that's a whole other issue for a lot of people, but it's instantly there for me when I want to read it. Now, if you were to ask me if I see myself as someone who reads a lot, I wouldn't even say that that's the case. I go through bursts of reading. Sometimes I don't read for months, I would say. And then there are times where I read like regularly every day, and I go through a book in a couple of days or something like that, depending on how long the book is, obviously. But here's the thing. I often feel that after I've read several books on a certain topic that I find interesting, that I can't even say which idea belonged to which author anymore. Sometimes I don't even remember the title of the book that I read, even if I liked it. So that's the problem. I can't even say where the ideas originated from, and that's the first hint that this is becoming a problem. Because if I don't even know where the ideas come from, I most certainly can't say what I think about stuff anymore. I mean, as I'm reading, I adopt ideas that I like, and I reject ideas that I don't like. But I never even give myself the time to really think about what it is that I think about certain things anymore. That's not a good thing. So I think I read too much. But let's say you're not at all like me. Maybe all you have time for, or give yourself time for in a day, is read the captions of the Instagram posts of the people that you follow. Maybe that's all you do on any given day. But let's say you follow 10 people whose work you really like and whose posts you read regularly. The rest is just noise. We don't really care about that. But let's say 10. You read the caption of every single one of their posts. Did you really give yourself time to think about what you are thinking about that certain thing? I don't know what accounts you follow, obviously, but if it's something that should be thought-provoking, do you really give it time? Or like the happy inspirational quotes. Sometimes I read them and I'm like, that's pure wisdom right there. That's so smart. But 5 minutes later, I don't even remember the quote. Sometimes if it's really cool, I'll take the time to write it down. But even then, I don't really let it sink in. That's a problem, isn't it? I mean, if you don't really know what you're thinking anymore. And I don't give myself homework. And I'm not like, I'll read this book and then I'll write an essay about every single chapter of that, like they did in school, which would be kind of useful, really, to write something down and just explore your own thoughts about a topic. Anyway, this is a part of the series Healthy Habit Building, so I want to just really quickly talk about how this has anything to do with habits. And I've already talked in some of the videos about how our thinking is habitual, just basically all of the time. Very, very large portion of the time, we just think habits that we are used to, that are comfortable for our being and that we're familiar with. And the way we're thinking those is because we've been thinking them all our lives. So if we wanted to make a conscious effort to change our thinking, we really need to find thoughts that we want to replace our old thoughts with. So we need the new thoughts, but they have to be our thoughts, and we have to believe in them. We have to get on board with them. We have to have them. You can't just be like, oh, that person is smart, I'll just do everything he says, because at some point he'll do something, say something that you don't really agree with, because we're all individuals after all. So your own thoughts, it's really your responsibility to have them, to adopt them, to make them. So here's what I did. I read a book recently that I really, really liked, and I'm reading it again. I started back at the beginning and I just had finished it, and reading it again just to be able to delve more into the ideas. And it's the kind of book that has like little exercise questions, like at the end of a chapter it has a question where you're like, what do you think about this? So I'm really, writing down my thoughts on that and just trying to capture what it is that I'm thinking personally, just to be able to get a glimpse of what it is that I actually believe in currently, and maybe stuff that I would like to work on in the future. Your thoughts really make up your reality, so you better be conscious about what those are. And if you're not entirely happy with how you perceive reality, here's a chance for you to start working on that. Be conscious of how much you read, and be conscious of what you yourself think about the things that you read. And that's the thought that I wanted to leave you with today. Yeah, I hope you found it helpful. Talk to you soon. Bye.